So yeah, all right, at World Wide Web, another amazing edition of Sports and Tacos coming at you. I'm your co-host Spencer Cadigan. Tony and Bama are in the middle of a fantasy baseball draft, so they're going to be hopping in sporadically. Greg Vaughn is hopping on, I believe, at the moment. We got Alex Ginzel, the G Unit. We have a super awesome, legendary martial arts guest today, Mr. David Brock, joining us. That's the video that you just saw, and we'll give Greg Vaughn just a little bit of love. Well, maybe I'll wait till Greg Vaughn comes on to run one of his little clips, and then Jason Glantz is one of our producers and engineer, so he's going to be watching for comments and stuff like that. But we're super excited to have David Brock on the show today. I want to give a shout out to Entertainment Media Partners for kind of helping me get to David. I've known of you for quite a while. Glad to have you on the show finally. David, we'd like to bring, like I was telling you, we like to bring guys on that kind of have a story about how you became who you are. So I'll let you dive in. Where you basically your backstory, where are you from, what's your athletic background, your martial arts background when you were a kid, and basically, how did that help you in life in general? And basically, because I think a lot of the reason we kind of decided to start this segment is you have a lot of younger people in the world these days, and I don't know if it's because athletics has become kind of shunned or whatever. It's just a weird world that we live in these days. It just seems like kids who play sports, are able to deal with life better. It just seems like. So, anyways, where are you from, David? And what was your experience with athletics growing up?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and I want to thank Andy Carranzo, of course, for hooking us up and all that. But I'm 71 years old now, so I try to stay in pretty good shape and through the martial arts world. But I was born in Pensacola, Florida, on a Naval Air Force base. My dad was in the Marines for 32 years. He's about 6'2", 245 pounds. He was a heavyweight champ of boxing, and he was a black belt in Kachikimpo, Okinawa style. So in third grade, my brother was in fourth grade. He started us off with judo first. Very first martial art we ever took. It was on Cherry Point, North Carolina, Marine base. And my brother turned out to be 10 times better than me. He was ended up being a CIF champ of wrestling a couple times, high school. Unfortunately, he was killed in a car accident at 19 after high school. But anyway, so we were in the judo first in North Carolina. And then we moved out to California at the end of my fifth grade. And my parents got divorced. And my mom says, you guys are going to still keep fighting and learn how to do it. So across the street was a boxing gym in Westminster called the Westminster Boxing Club. Very famous gym. Had Carlos Palomino. I boxed with Carlos growing up, and I was undefeated in Golden Glove boxing. So my dad wanted me to be a boxer. And I kind of didn't like getting hit in the face so much. You know what I mean? It was what it was. I really didn't like it. So my mom said, well, maybe you could switch over into this karate world. And so, I played sports, football, basketball. I ran track and stuff. And so we went to this school around the corner out in Garden Grove. I don't know if you ever heard of a guy named Ed Parker, but Ed Parker brought this Chinese style called Kempo Jiu-Jitsu, which was Kenpo. They dropped the word Jiu-Jitsu. And so, but it was comprised of three different styles and combined in one. It's Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, and Kung Fu techniques all combined in one. And so the instructor that I had was a really good kickboxer, a good fighter. And so he showed a lot of that. So we were real versatile in what we were doing. Our self-defense was good. Our kickboxing was really good because there really wasn't MMA back then in the 60s and in the early 70s like that. So that was the style of fighting that we started, but there were no pads. It was all bare feet, bare knuckle. The only thing you wore was a groin protector because the groin was allowed. you're allowed to kick in the groin as hard as you wanted to. So we did big sweeps and grabs and takedowns and ground fighting. You know, the referee would pull you off, and it was brutal. I mean, you had to fight about 6 times to win a tournament, to win a big event back then. 6 rounds, 6 different guys.
With
And
guys,
we made the final.
with guys, you had guys punching you in the junk.
It was brutal. I had 7 broken hands. All my ribs broke. My jaw broke. I wear hearing aids because they had my jaw and hearing aid broke and busted because I fought up a weight and fought a middleweight guy. Crazy.
Wow. Guys, real quick, Dave. Greg Vaughn just logged in. Greg, can you hear us?
Vaughn, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Dave. Nice to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Smith, I had no link.
Oh, it's okay.
No biggie. You're legendary.
No, you're legendary.
Yeah.
So just to catch up.
Anyway, so that was quick. Mr. Vaughn, I had a question for you. I'm connected with the Dodgers in 2 different facets. Number 1, my cousin played with you, Greg Brock.
Oh, I know. Hey, the Brock.
He played first base. He took over for Steve Garvey when he left for San Diego. But I don't know him because my parents got divorced. I never knew Greg. I knew he was in Oregon, going to school up there and blah, blah, blah. But he became a pretty good baseball player.
Really good.
The second connection I had was one of my own personal students became the number 1 draft pick for the Dodgers, and he was the runner-up to Rookie of the Year named Matt Luke.
Okay, I know. Yep, I know who he is also.
Yeah, Matt Luke. And first time up the bat, he hits a home run.
Awesome. Yeah, that's hard to follow.
He ended up batting 300 his rookie year with the Dodgers. But anyway, his broken bat, we still have it in my closet right now. He gave it to my son. So how cool is that? But anyway, it was an honor to meet you.
No, it's an honor to meet you. Shoot, yeah. You're a legend. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Greg, Dave was just kind of talking about a little bit of his childhood and how he got into martial arts and stuff. And he was telling me something I didn't know. And that's, I guess, back in the day. So am I correct, Dave? You couldn't choke anybody out, but
that wasn't on the rules. Yeah. Back in the day, we did rear leg sweeps, grabs, takedowns, ground fighting. The refs had to pull you off, but there was all bare knuckle. Bare feet, bare knuckles, and everything. And I had a pretty good career. I'm the only guy to ever beat the greatest lightweight fighter, I feel, is Benny the Jet Urquidez. How do you remember Benny the Jet? It says he was undefeated in kickboxing. Well, yeah, that's kickboxing with the gloves. But the bare knuckle fights, I'm the only guy ever to beat the guy. And I beat him in 1974 at the Long Beach Arena. So, and we're very good friends. I went to the premiere of the Roadhouse with Conor McGregor in LA. I was at the premiere, and Benny and I sat together and stuff. So we're still great friends. So that was pretty cool to go there and see that.
That's really cool. Greg, he was telling me. So again, you couldn't choke anybody out, but junk punching was totally legal.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
Believe me, there were guys who would choke you out. That didn't matter because they didn't care if they got disqualified or kicked out of the event. I even had a friend of mine.
You are mine now.
Came in with a gun. He brought his gun in one time. I said, "What do you got to stop this guy, man?" It was crazy back in the day. It was just crazy. So
it's different rules, right?
I love MMA. Believe me, I love it. You got to be so talented and so good at it. So
I have a few friends. Uriah Faber from my hometown. Shamrock is from my hometown. There's just I love MMA. I was a boxing guy. I'm trying to get back into boxing, but it's hard. It's hard, Well,
I guess Tyson's going to box that one guy. What's that guy's name?
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, Jake Paul. He's going to fight Tyson coming up, I hear. So, hey, listen. Have you ever heard of what they call a paycheck fighter?
Yeah.
What's wrong with a paycheck fighter?
No, there's money. Not.
I fight Tyson for a couple $1 million.
I'll
take a quick out from him for a couple $1 million. Why not?
Yeah, Mr. Brock, you can kick my butt for $100,000.
Actually, no, I take it back. $5,000. I'll take $5,000 to beat me up. Actually, I had a question for you myself. Do you know a fighter named Jerry Trimble? He also does that stuff.
Oh, he was great.
You know Jerry Trimble?
Oh, it was great.
Oh yeah, he's a close friend of
player.
mine. So I'll tell him he said
they should call him the Golden Boy or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He's a good friend of one of my best friends named Jeff Smith. I don't know if you remember light heavyweight world champ Jeff Smith at kickboxing. He was the only kickboxing fighter that ever fought on the Thrilla in Manila when the boxing event Thrilla Manila. Well, Jeff, if you can look up Jeff Smith, he's the light heavyweight kickbox champ of the world. We're very close. When the very first professional karate kickboxing team was formed, there was 12 guys picked different weight categories, and I was one of them. But he became big time. He fought on Wide World of Sports and all kinds of stuff. So Jeff Smith, look him up, a great guy. He's in Washington D.C. And but he knows Trimble really good. You probably heard of Don the Dragon Wilson.
If you come on again, I'll make sure to get Jerry Trimble on it.
Yeah.
Real quick, Dave.
Reputation, that guy.
Dave, I just want to kind of give our viewers just a little bit of your resume here. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, 8-time international fighting champion, 5 times Las Vegas grand champion, #1 rated lightweight, tournament fighter in California, 75 and 76. Honored. I mean, like your resume here it's just nuts. So
did it say best looking fighter back in the day?
Oh, wait, yeah, best looking fighter. And anytime I assume you're doing stuff like this, I don't know if anybody recognizes.
That's me and my beautiful wife Janet. We just celebrated 43 years of marriage.
Aww, congratulations.
We've been together 46, and that's Chuck Norris. And right after this picture was taken, Chuck and I left for Guadalajara, Mexico. I helped him do some seminars, and he handed me the script to the Octagon, the movie The Octagon, and he offered me the 4th leading role and all this kind of stuff to it. But I turned it down. Didn't work out. Probably the stupidest thing I've ever done in my entire life was not take that part. I still today think, God, where would I have been? Who knows? Because my buddy that was on the plane with us, Ken Norton's his name.
No, of course.
Probably the #1 B movie guy in the world from Australia. Handsome guy, super good looking guy. He came with us, and he ended up working for Chuck for the next 20 years. He made millions. He did well. So I'm really good. I'm still close with Chuck. He's living in Austin, Austin, Texas. I did a big seminar out in Austin, Texas for everybody out there last year. And but his wife kind of controls him, does everything for him. That kind of. Her name's Gina. Yeah. And they have a couple kids, and they go to school in Hawaii and so on like that. But anyway, I'm the host of the international championships in Long Beach, and we're inducting Chuck this year to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it should be a big one. You guys are welcome. It's going to be huge.
So Dave.
At the Pasadena Hilton.
So when did you? I guess from reading that resume, I mean, am I correct? Like you started fighting in the early 70s, and that video, right? That video is from 2013 or 2014, correct?
Yeah.
That's how long you were fighting for?
No, I stopped fighting. I fought for 7 years. 7 years straight. Wow. Yeah, from 1974 to 1981. I took a break because I was asked to fight on these all-star teams, like, 12 guys versus 12 guys and so on. I fought on the U.S. team against Japan and over in Hawaii. We met over in Hawaii and fought at the Blaisdell Center over there. But it was kind of funny because, like I said, there was 12 of us, and they had 32 guys. Wow. So we each fought 3 times that night.
Oh my God.
So we fought 3 times that night. They only had to fight once. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But
after I guess so. Around 81 is when you started fighting. Then did you just fight occasionally after that? Like what?
I fought on team things like from
So team.
1983 to like 1989.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was on a black belt team that won the international championships in 1989. So that was probably
What were
I think
you
about the last time.
like? What were you doing, knocking people out in
I just
2013?
teach. I had schools. You know,
Okay.
I had my own TV show for a little while. It's called Kicks. We were on
Yeah.
KDOC for a couple of years. It was a nice show. It was fun. That was fun. But,
Cool.
I'm a teacher. I love to teach.
Right.
I'm about helping kids.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
I try to give my testimony of how I went from being a champion down to being a cocaine addict for a while. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, I had this incredibly out of body experience with Jesus Christ. He saved my life 27 years ago. Never
Yeah.
looked back. And so I'm about doing my outreaches. I work with a ministry work out of San Diego and stuff. And we went to the Grand Cayman Islands 2 years in a row. And I brought 2,000 kids to Jesus Christ that weekend.
Wow.
Oh,
It was amazing. And Mr. Vaughn, I want to tell you right now, 90% of them were African Americans.
that's
I didn't
awesome.
know African Americans were so big in the Cayman Islands, but they're French. They
Right.
speak in French and stuff, and I loved them. Man, I got pictures and videos of just being completely overwhelmed by these kids,
Wow.
and I just love it, man. I
Well,
love
thank
saving people's lives and talking about the testimony, and because there's only two ways you're going to get help. You being at the top of the world in sports, Greg, when a great athlete can fall. And it's
Yeah.
easy to be, tempted into going the other way because I was tempted. I'm on cloud nine. I'm the best lightweight fighter in a freaking country, blah, blah, blah. And I'm teaching bad people, drug dealers, all kinds of stuff. So I got involved with that stuff. So anyway, either you get professional help, real professional help, or you give your life up to Jesus Christ. I think that's the only two ways you're ever going to find it to get yourself clean. And it just happened like that. It was an unbelievable experience. I have to share that with you. That's a different story.
So, David, is that when you kind of decided to, start teaching?
Say it again.
Is that kind of when you decided to start teaching, like giving back? Because I'm assuming you had your career.
Yeah.
Some tough stuff happened. You had kind of the moment of clarity, basically. Then you decided after that not as much fighting because you still did some fighting, but is that when you decided to kind of make teaching kids and stuff more of your emphasis?
Again, I'm kind of hard of hearing, but if I think what you're saying, I'm going to tell you that I really didn't quit teaching while I was on the stuff.
Okay, so you were still teaching. Okay,
I was
got it.
hiding it. But through the years, you could see the change in my personality. I was a little bit rougher, a little bit snappier. It just I was hiding things in my top, things like that. And then it wasn't until, I gave my life up to Christ that everything changed. The greatest thing that happened out of this whole thing is my wife stayed with me.
Wow.
That's awesome.
She went through the tough times with me because I really brought us down. She never gave up on me. And I asked her after I, gave my life up to Christ and stuff, why did you stay with me? She said, because I always knew you were a good guy. I knew there was some good. There was always some good, and I wasn't going to give up on you. And
awesome.
The next day after I'd given my life up to Christ and stuff, she looked in my eyes. She goes, you look really different, Dave. I said, well, you got your husband back.
Wow.
Number one. And we've never stopped since. You know what I mean? We're about our family and our grandkids and our own kids and stuff. My oldest son was a pastor at Calvary Chapel, and he died of cancer 4 years ago.
Wow.
Incredible. I would have never pictured that one, but he died of cancer. So we came back from Nevada out here back to Huntington Beach, and we've been here ever since, watching our kids and grandkids and all that stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, let's get back. I guess that's that's kind of how things go. You so basically found Jesus, and then from there, did you fight after that point? Like, I'm just kind of this video that we have. This is from like 2013. Um, that is just amazing to me that you were that good in 2013 and you were started fighting in the early 70s.
yeah,
That's like you're like the Nolan Ryan of martial arts
yeah,
fighters in a way, That's
yeah. It wasn't a bar fight, right?
no, that
Oh,
ring fight.
okay,
You
good.
know, that video that we just showed, I mean, I believe that was in
Yeah.
2013 or something like that. And
Uh,
you're doing roundhouse kicks like, an eight.
Hmm.
So
I lost a lot of weight.
that's amazing. Like, that is an amazing
Well, first of
video.
all, that's not me, but that's okay.
Oh, is that one of your fighters? Is that what that is?
that was not me, but that's okay.
Oh,
But
got it.
you know what's funny is I have a fight video out there. I teach the
Yeah.
video, and I've sold thousands of copies of it. And it's called Broken Rhythm Fighting, and it was the style that I created and developed in the '70s.
What's it called again?
Broken Rhythm,
Okay.
Broken Rhythm, yeah. And I just had one of my ghostwriters today send me the response on the manuscript for the new book that's coming out, and I sent you a copy of the cover. I think,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great cover. It's going to be a great book, and but I'm not finished. There's some, when you write a book, you got to go through all your grammar stuff and go through your editing and I'm not a professional writer. I could certainly tell the story. You are, Jason? There you go.
No, I'm just saying, I have a solution for you. Chat GBT.
Yeah, there you go. But I know some people. I know the editor of Black Belt Magazine real well. And then another good friend of mine is for Harley Davidson Magazine. They're good writers. They've had a couple of books. So they're kind of helping me out of this whole thing. And so I just got that back today. So we'll see how it goes, but the story is going to be great. The idea is to take my story to all the big churches around the world, United States, go to the schools, give my testimony speeches, and just try to get one person to come. One.
Yeah.
If I can bring 2,000 kids on an island somewhere out in the Caribbean, I got a feeling I can bring them here somewhere. There's over 350 million Christians in America, and I think they need to hear my story. And so,
Right.
and then hopefully that'll help them bring people as well. We've got to clean up this act of ours around here, man. There's too much drugs. The drug of choice was marijuana, and then marijuana went to cocaine, and then cocaine went to heroin, and then heroin went to meth, and now meth is fentanyl.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's
We got to
nuts.
clean
Well,
this place up.
hey, David, what would you what would you say your most memorable fight ever was?
Well, like I said, Benny the Jet Urquidez.
Benny the Jet?
Here's the story. Like I said, it's all bare knuckle. He was the number one ranked fighter in the world in 1974. I'd only been a black belt for about 4 months, but I was confident. And we fought each other, and it was a bloodbath. It was a tough fight, and I came out the winner. It was the biggest upset. Nobody knew who Dave Brock was. They all knew who Benny was, and so I put my name on the map. And then I ended up beating all kinds of great guys. Cecil Peoples. I don't remember the referee Cecil Peoples for UFC and stuff. I beat Cecil in Las Vegas. The two biggest events in the United States was the internationals and the Las Vegas Nationals. That was huge. And the way you win grand champion, and again, this is bare knuckle, right? It's the
That's
lightweight guy
crazy.
fights the middleweight guy, and then the light heavyweight guy fights a heavyweight guy, and then those two winners fight each other, and it's called grand champion. And it was when you fight for grand champion, you fight 3 rounds, and so I had to fight big guys for grand champion. It was a great experience. You know, I look back and all the broken bones and ribs and injuries and stuff, and I'd do it all over again. I would. I'd fight these freaking guys all over again. It don't matter to me because I was an athlete. I played football, basketball, and ran track, and I played 1 year of college basketball, and that was it. Martial arts took over. I fell in love with it. I knew it was what I wanted to do, and like I said, Greg, being a great athlete, you are a pro athlete. People want to rub shoulders with you and hang out with you. They're your best friend and all this kind of stuff. So I became good friends with Chuck Norris and people like that. I became the bodyguard to Antonio Banderas, Melanie
Oh,
Griffith.
cool.
And then I was a dancer, believe it or not. My mom was the greatest dancer in Florida in history, swing and all that stuff. So I became this ballroom dancer in California, and I won the state championships in ballroom dancing. And Priscilla Presley fell in love with my dancing while we were in Hawaii when I was fighting in Hawaii because she was there with Mike Stone, who was our coach, right? When she left Elvis. So she danced with me every night all week long and stuff and fell in love with the dancing. And she started calling me a lot and wanted to open up dance studios. She says, Dave, you got to quit fighting. You got to keep dancing. I said, Priscilla, I'm a fighter, not a dancer. Oh, no, you got to do this. So, we became pretty good friends with her. And now I hear they did a movie on her. It's called Priscilla or something.
Yeah. I think it just kind of
I
recently came
just
out.
watched Priscilla today. Oh my God.
Oh, wow, really?
It is great. The director, Sophia Coppola, she did a fantastic film called Lost in Translation. She hasn't done anything else good except this second movie, and it's fantastic. The only downside is I now don't like Elvis anymore. He was abusive and mean to her and kept her at Graceland while he just,
but Jason,
around.
Jason, I'm going to tell you, that's what drugs and alcohol will do to you.
That's right, Jason.
Elvis, seriously?
I'm fully aware.
Elvis was a nice guy. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that right now. One of my best
I blame it all on Colonel.
One of my best friends, one of the bodyguards. Dave Hebler was with Sunday West and those guys. They were his bodyguards, okay? And he had his great moments as the nicest guy. He was such a giver. Yeah. I mean, he gave people money and cars and all kinds of, he was a real giver, okay? Yeah. He was abusive because he was an alcoholic and a drug addict.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to you.
Greg, you got any, while we got a guy like David Brock on the show, you got any good questions for David? I mean, I'm always interested in the big fights, the adversity that he, faces a kid. Any questions why you got a fighter like him on?
Oh yeah, for me, I mean, I love his testimony. Like I said, I believe podcasts are a way for people to tell their story. I believe everyone's story is important. Everyone, they get to see all the sports stuff and accolades and all that, but we want to get down to like the core, like, what made you go to Christ and, where were you born? Where'd you come from? And, what led you in the directions that, the choices that you made, because, all of us have adversity. All of us have a story. And I love about the podcast is a place that you get to tell your story, the way you want to tell it.
Yeah, totally. G Unit. Got any questions while we have a world? Oh, go ahead, Greg.
I didn't get to hear. I didn't get to answer. That
was sorry. Go. Sorry.
But my question was, what made you become a fighter? How did you become a fighter, and at what age did you know this is what you wanted to do?
I grew up. My dad, who was in the Marines, was very abusive. I'll let you know that. He drank a lot and stuff. And my brother Bill, who was a year older than me, was the toughest street fighter guy you ever saw in your entire life, man. he was tougher than snot. And there were guys, he'd almost get in a fight sometimes. He'd say, look, you got two choices. You can fight me, or you can fight my little brother. So I'm pushed into the fights and stuff like that. But I think because my dad was pretty abusive and stuff, that my brother and I, we just fought, And then the martial art world, two of my best friends were, one was a quarterback and one was our running back. And I played defensive back and wide receiver. The three of us hung out, and they had started over at this karate school before I did. I was 17 watching them, and I thought, well, I could beat these guys up in a street fight. So one of them took me in the backyard and beat the snot out of me. They said, Dave, you need to get into this. I think you'd be pretty good. And so that's what happened. I got in and I never quit. I started in 1970, never looked back. 54 years.
That's crazy. That's what I mean. That is like Nolan Ryan of martial arts.
I highly recommend it for people. I don't care how old you are. No matter
Who's
how
Nolan Ryan?
Oh, God. Sorry, he must be the engineer. do I need to?
You know what's amazing to me though is that you still can communicate. You know what I mean?
I saw this one clip of you doing the Chicago Bears, and you're calling it the Longhorns. And like, honestly, I thought it was the Longhorns too. You and I should do sports trivia together.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna
Thank you, Jason.
Because you know why I have this hat? People have said go blue to me, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I honestly just bought it because I think it looks good on me. So
yes, hey guys, Jason is the engineer. He's not necessarily a sports guy.
Yeah, I learned football from watching Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights. Yeah, my grandson plays in Friday Night Lights and stuff. But, hey, Jason, real quick. So you're from Chicago?
Oh no, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I was born and raised. On the playground where I spent most of my days. And then I switched over to Manhattan for 10 years. And then I just moved here 2020.
I was going to say my buddy and I went to Chicago to the Laugh Stop, and he was best friends with Chris Farley.
Oh, man.
I don't know if you remember Chris Farley.
Oh, of course. Who doesn't?
We partied all night with all those guys. They were crazy back then.
Oh, God.
So you can tell, you can see where my head was back in the day,
Yes,
yes. Crazy.
G Unit. What you got?
When you're not training, or when you weren't training full time, what did you do for fun?
What's that?
Ooh, I like the way she said it too.
When you weren't training, I know you were training full time, but when you weren't training, what did you do for fun?
Say it again, Alex.
What did you do for fun?
I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Dave.
What did you do for fun? Big boy.
What did you do for fun?
When you weren't training?
Well, before I met my wife.
No, let's just say okay, let's try and keep it PG-13.
I danced a lot. So you get to meet a lot of nice ladies.
There you go. Dancing. I love to dance.
Okay. But I met the dream of my life. It's been 46 years. I don't dance no more.
Probably smart but
she changed my life for sure. Stay out of those.
Another question I have was from a fighter's perspective, what changes could be made to martial arts and UFC right now?
Again, Alex, I think the MMA world has proven that the athletes are more versatile. They're talented, but the attitude, they have kind of a bully attitude. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys. The great respect. I like what Spencer was saying about he used to go twice a year to watch these great fights. Well, now they're every weekend. And so it's a show. It's a fight show. I have a lot of respect for those guys, but I don't watch them. I watch like Spencer does, the 1 or 2, 3 big ones a year when they've got a really good fight card going and stuff. And, again, I wish they could just show a little more self-respect and speak a little bit more positive stuff. And, the F word comes out like everybody's mouth or every other sentence. And I don't like that word. I'm sorry. Yeah. You can speak English, can't you? Can't you just speak some good English? You don't need to say that. you know,
I've got
every
news
other
for
word out
you.
of
You
your
are
mouth.
mine now. You belong to me.
So that you can if you want. It don't matter to me. I'm not going to judge anybody, you know. But we're losing this war here, um, in America, especially. I think about showing dignity and self-respect and good character and good positive, you know, good positive feed, you know, to the public. I think.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. We have
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the Platte River Bar and Grill. We are here live, just having fun, trying to make something, and I'm getting my ass kicked.
Tony's trying to do a draft, but you know how Tony and draft go.
Dave. Dave.
Love you guys. God
Dave,
bless you. I love you. Hello, America. How are you guys doing?
Great, Dave. This is our other co-hosts that are in the middle of their fantasy baseball draft at the bar at the moment. Tony, just say hi to Dave Brock.
Go.
We've been hearing all about martial arts stuff.
Hey,
You guys-
Mr. Brock. Hey, man, I saw you kick some ass and I saw your posts, but I've known you and I've seen you in the past. Dude, you're a one badass son of a bitch. And it was a pleasure to meet you. God bless you.
I remember you, baby. I
Oh
remember
my
you, bro.
gosh, dude.
I
I would
remember-
never want to say anything about your family. God bless. Because if that would happen, man, this Mexican would look like a different color or style of life. Yeah, that's the way to say
Hey, Tony, how's
it. Brother.
Dave, this Tony and Bam are the other co-hosts. We're the originators of Sports and Tacos. They're obviously at the bar drafting fantasy
That's all right.
baseball players, so they're having a good
And I'm
time.
getting my ass kicked.
Yeah. Hey,
Hello,
hey,
everybody. What's
Tony.
up, G? What's up, baby? What's up,
What's
brother?
up, Tony?
Wow, yeah.
Tony, while you guys are on break, do you have like one question you want to ask for a world champion from a world champion?
I do
Dave?
want to ask the champ something. What I want to ask is, who did you beat or who got beat? That's the question. I'm figuring that the champ, which you are, you kick some ass, take some names, but I'm sure somebody kind of got a hold of you too.
I will tell you right now, the toughest guy I ever fought was a guy named John Longstreet out of St. Paul, Minnesota. You can look him up. He was the middleweight kickbox champ of the world. I fought him in San Jose, California. He kicked me so hard in the face, it broke my jaw, shattered my eardrum, and that's why I'm deaf today. John Longstreet. Look him up. He was 175 pounds. I was 155 pounds. That guy kicked my ass. He was tough. No doubt.
Okay,
Holy
hey,
cow, Batman.
Tony, why you got Bama there? Bama, you got one question maybe for world champion?
You got one question.
No, I just know. So who was your most memorable person to train?
Say it again.
Bye.
Later, brother. The most memorable person that he trained right there. I know we trained people right there. Yes, sir. What'd you do?
Who was the most memorable person that you trained?
I didn't understand, Spencer. I'm sorry, but what did you say?
Who's the most memorable person you ever trained? Like trained, taught.
Who was what?
The most memorable person you ever trained.
I trained a lot of guys.
Is there anybody that stands out?
When Tito Ortiz was ready to fight Shamrock, I worked with him on some kickboxing upstairs in a 24-hour fitness gym in Huntington Beach. We did a lot of drills and some kickboxing and stuff like that. I've known him since he was a kid. He used to come over to my school and peek in the window and stuff when he was a little kid. And but he was probably one of the best. I helped. There's Razor Rod McCullough. There's a kid named Jack Felton who is the number one little small lightweight kickbox fighter. He's won a lot of championships. He's my student.
Cool.
But I like the street guys. You know, I like to train those tough street guys, like Bama. You know,
Bama and Tony are from the streets.
I
for
like
sure.
to get down and dirty, man. You know,
They're the
like
right
that.
two for you, though.
That's
they're
it.
your
That's
guys.
it.
I like.
God
I like
bless.
to get down
Hey,
and dirty
man,
with these guys. I'm not a young spring chicken anymore, man. These guys throw me around like a rag doll, but. You know, it's a lot of fun to train tough guys, man, and I love it. And you
Cool.
know, big bad dudes. Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know,
man, I bet when you went, I bet when you were training Tino, man, I bet he was saying, "Show me the ways, coach. Show me the ways," because he did really good. You know, with him and the Iceman, man, they went 3 rounds. They went 3 times.
yeah,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Tino's awesome.
If you look at Chuck Liddell on his arm, he has my patch and our patch on his arm. It's the same patch that we have. It's called the Kempo Karate patch.
Hell yeah,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
that's
Not that
awesome.
That's my own personal patch. But
Yes,
the
yes.
karate patch is he has
Much
it on-
respect. Much respect.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a
yeah.
great guy. I love Chuck. He's a great guy, man. Super class. I love Randy Couture, good friend. You know,
Oh, Randy, man, what a bad
those-
man. You know,
those are the days
Oh.
when the fighters got so much respect, you know. I mean, look at Chuck Liddell. He was the first guy ever to be on the front cover of Sports Illustrated martial arts, you know. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty
So-
good. Well, cool, Dave. Dave, you want to stick around? I mean, we're gonna I don't know. We got about another 18 minutes to kill. You want to talk any regular sports with us, Dave?
No, that's cool. You know,
It's up to you.
some old
Yeah.
friends, you know.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to hang and talk some sports, we're gonna take about a minute and a half break, and we're just gonna thank our sponsors real quick, Dave. And then
but
we're gonna
before
come
you
back-
go there,
Oh.
brother, we got to jump back in. Hey, Mr. Man, Mr. David, God bless you. Thank you for being on the show. Hey, next time when we see us, we'll be in our sports room talking smack and we're talking love. But God bless you and everything about you. Man, I saw your videos. You're a bad mama jamma.
Hey, I'm old now, but thank you. I appreciate it, buddy.
We're all old now. Heck yeah.
Hey, man.
We all have our day, right? We all have our day when we're young.
Hell yeah, man. And God's sake, you did it, and you did it on live TV where you made sure it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
man.
guys. All right, guys. Good luck at your baseball
Oh,
draft.
man, I'm sucking really bad.
You're drafting all Rockies. That's why. That's what you do every
No,
year.
eh,
Yes, you do.
I didn't do it this year. I didn't do this year, brother. But God bless you. But I still
Homer.
feel on my
Homer.
Colorado Rockies.
Homer Simpson. All right, guys. Tell everybody I said hi.
Love
Peace.
Oh my God.
I would love to ask Mr. Vaughn a couple of questions. What a
Hey,
great athlete.
Okay, let's do this. We're
What a
gonna
great athlete he
Dave.
is. You know,
Dave.
to me, it doesn't matter what sport you're at, but when you reach the level that you reach where you're one of the best in the world at it, it's pretty special, man.
Oh,
And I don't
absolutely.
care, you know, what the sport is, football, basketball, track, soccer, whatever. When you reach this level of greatness, that's amazing, you know. And so when you played for the Dodgers, you were a position player or a pitcher?
No, I played against the Dodgers, but I was always the position player, left fielder, outfielder.
Yeah.
Always an outfielder.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, never. I played against the Dodgers, but Greg Brock played with me. Your cousin played with me in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's where we
Yeah.
played together in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he got traded after that, taking over for Garvey there for a while. He got traded. I followed him, but he didn't know me. You know, we were cousins by blood only, and I don't know him. I'd like to meet him. talk
He's a
some
great
stuff.
guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not one of the nicest guys around. Really good guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
that's gotta be so cool.
Dave, we're gonna take just like a 2-minute break, real quick, Dave, and we're gonna run some commercials and thank our sponsors, and then we'll just come back and talk some sports for about 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay, I'll hang out, buddy.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys. And
All about having some fun, a little bit of sports knowledge from 3, 4, 5, 6 different folks, depending on the night. Let you know about what happened that day in sports. We'll get to it. Check us out, Sports and Tacos at YouTube.
perfect.
Because we get paid to put our money where our mouth is. We tell you how it is for real, not what they want you to say. Listen to us, Sports and Tacos.
Cool, perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah. Who are the guys at Sports and Tacos? We're a bunch of sports experts who work together in a huge sports bar forever. And we know more sports than anybody in this entire world because we put our money where our mouth is.
Oh, Vaughn to left and gone in left. Greg Vaughn with number 45, and Cincinnati tacks on 3 more. 5-0 Reds.
Well, they're dancing in the streets in Cincinnati.
No, they're not. Nothing's open.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in TV land, YouTube Sports and Tacos, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sunday Fun Day. Come join us, YouTube Sports and Tacos. All right, this is Sports and Tacos. We got freaks out there. We got. All right, this is Sports and Tacos. We got freaks out there. We got 4 of them. We got 5 of them. We got special guests. We got a man in the shower. We got a brainiac. We got a guy that looks like he's supposed to be on Sports Center. And then you got me. It's all about the TMP, Sports and Tacos.
Perfect. Sports and Tacos. Okay, Dave. Here's your. Is this the book? Is this coming out soon, Dave?
Yeah, as soon as we, like I said, I just got the word from the ghostwriter today about stuff that we need to work on the manuscript, finish it up.
Cool.
But that's the cover.
Yep. So everybody keep your eye out for Broken Rhythm. It's David Brock's book that's coming out soon. We want to give a shout out to Jason Glantz, JG Management, Mr. Jason Glantz, a great manager. We're going to give a shout out to my buddy Brady Mazzola with the Watering Seeds organization. Brady helps wounded veterans. It's that's a great organization, and I don't like give anything away, but we're in the works for a big, possibly a big documentary that's coming up. Give myself a little shout out. We got a movie out right now called American Comedy, streaming on Tubi, starring Eric Roberts and Dan Loria. Go check it out, totally free. There's this little wine company out there called GV23. You want to plug GV23, Greg Vaughn?
Yes, 23 Wines. That's my wine label, where all the proceeds go back to the vineyard or to my foundation to try to find a cure for diabetes and get rid of that disease. And it's pretty tasty. The Pinot has won some awards, and I'm very proud of it. I like to say thank you to the E2 family winery and Brett, the Eller family, for giving me an opportunity to venture into, just another journey.
Hey, Greg, I had a quick question for you. Is the wine friendly for someone regarding sugar and stuff? Because I'll share with you, I have type 2 and I can't drink a lot of wine because it's too much sugar in it. So I was just curious, is that a special kind of I know the money goes towards helping curing it, but I would love to find a wine that I could drink just. Mm-hmm. I know, David, you're going to tell me don't drink. It's, but I love my vices and I'd like to live longer and not be, taking too much insulin, so does that work?
Well, mine is fruit friendly, but, my oldest son, Corey, has type 1. That's why I started the foundation.
Oh, okay.
So it has natural sugar. You're still going to get your natural sugar. You just can't, once a week, just consumption is going to be the key for you, I think.
Once a week. You don't know me very well, Mr. Vaughn.
One glass a day, Mr. Glantz. One glass a day. Okay, hey, G Unit. You want to give Don Church a quick shout out?
Sure. This is Smoke Lab Vodka. It's a vodka from Punjab, India, made with basmati rice and pure Himalayan spring water. It is now sold in almost all the liquor stores around the Los Angeles area and California. So it's a really, really good vodka. The white one's the original, and the black is the aniseed. Makes a really great espresso martini.
Cool. Yeah, we're trying to we're working on Lowry's to try and get it in Lowry's. We want to give a shout out to Mr. Bill Hammond over at Hammond Entertainment. He puts on the coolest celebrity golf tournaments and events that I know of. Also want to give a shout out to Mr. Dan Wolkin from he owns Memory Lane Incorporated. If you got old sports memorabilia, new sports memorabilia, Dan is the guy you want to talk to. He's been on over 50 episodes of Pawn Stars. We're going to give a shout out to Doug Plank, ex-Chicago Bear, and Megan Johnson, and their great podcast, Sports and Shopping. We're going to give a shout out to Ray Panetto over at Pro Signatures Memorabilia. Ray has the coolest sports memorabilia in all the land. And we're going to give a shout out to ex-Detroit Lion, our buddy Paul Pratt, who has not been on the show since the NFC Championship game. Hopefully he's over the Lions losing the NFC Championship game by now. We'll have Paul on soon. He's got a really great water. It's like an electrolyte injected, very extremely hydrating water. And that's pretty much it. We want to give all of our sponsors a shout out. Is there any organizations, Dave, you want to give a shout out to possibly at the moment?
Yeah, I'm a real advocate of the Martial Artists for Christ movement. It's an outreach. We try to have an altar call at the end of our martial arts shows and all that kind of stuff. Bring people, up to the middle of the stage or whatever, and pray over them and see what their issues are and stuff like that. But it's called Martial Artists for Christ. My brother-in-law Bob Mitchell, who was one of my instructors as well, started the program, and we've had some big shows, and, special guests like Chuck Norris and people like that come on.
Do they have a website, Mr. Brock? I'll happily put it up on the screen and leave it there for a couple.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
What is the website?
martialartistsforchrist.com. So
awesome. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Dave, since you're the guest on the show tonight, what do you follow all sports, Dave? Do you have a favorite sport? Do you into basketball? You into baseball?
Well, I love it. Like my wife says, anything that has a ball, I watch it. But right now I'm watching March Madness. I love basketball for sure. I played college ball for 1 year, and then I dropped out of it for my martial art career. So I started fighting all the time, and so it just kind of took its toll. But I got a dual scholarship in high school in football and basketball to San Diego State, Kansas State, and
Really?
stuff. That's kind of unusual. You don't get that too often, but I was picked in the Orange County All-Star game at defensive back, and I dislocated my shoulder really bad, and I couldn't. They said I had to put a pin in it, and so they said, either you quit playing football or whatever. But so I wore this harness that I got from the Rams camp, the Los Angeles Rams when they're here, and it kind of kept my shoulder in place. And so I played 1 year of basketball in college. That was it. But the martial art thing took over, and that's what I stayed with. I love it. Still do it.
Greg, and G Unit. I had to work a ton over the weekend. Were you guys following March Madness all weekend?
Oh yeah, I'm in a bracket.
How's your guys' bracket? Greg, how's your bracket?
I even watched the girls.
I'm watching the girls now.
I don't care. I watch the girls. I watch NIT. I watch the March Madness thing. It's a sport, man. I'm watching it.
Yeah. My Kansas Jayhawks are out. They're out. They lost to Gonzaga on Saturday, but I've got UConn and Purdue going all the way.
Yeah.
Did my alma mater win? I don't know. It's so funny. I was in Vegas all weekend and didn't watch one game. I just was at the Bellagio and the Encore pool party with the Chainsmokers. But I was curious. Did Duquesne win?
Well, I'll tell you who my underdog pick is.
Duquesne University?
Yes,
North
they
Carolina.
did. They won.
North Carolina State.
Yeah,
Not
Wolfpack.
North Carolina State.
Greg, who you
My
got?
underdog pick. They're kicking the crap out of people right now.
Greg, who you got taking it all?
I have UConn or Houston, but I'm not a.
Yeah.
Purdue looks really good. The big boys playing
Yeah.
great. You know, playing
Yeah,
great.
they got bangers.
Yeah,
They
they're
got
playing. Yeah,
bangers, man. Houston's tough.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're physical. Houston or UConn, but like I said, Purdue, it can go either way. I think Purdue they throw the ball down low to the big guy, and the
Yeah.
big fella knows what to do with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
But
they can-
UConn lost 3 of their starters from last year when they won the championship. They lost 3 starters. They lost some of their bench guys who were really good. And for them to be where they're at right now is darn good. That
Yeah,
coach is great.
yeah,
All right,
it's the coaching family.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How?
They were
Gee,
both Bobby Hurley and the brother. They were good
Yep.
players.
Yep.
G Unit and Greg. I don't know if David. Did you fill out a bracket this year, David?
Say it again.
Did you fill out a bracket? No.
I'm not quite getting it. I'm sorry.
G
Did you
Unit.
fill out did you fill out a
G-
bracket?
G
Yes,
Unit.
I did.
Oh no, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Nah.
G Unit. How's your?
I'm not that good.
I'm doing
How's-
really good. I'm doing good. I think I'm in like sixth
wow.
place out of 38 people.
Nice.
I've got UConn and Purdue in the championship game, and UConn taking it all the way.
Greg.
Well, it's their first time in 15 years that number 1 and number 2 have made it in
Yeah.
all the brackets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that says something.
Greg,
Yeah.
what's your bracket looking like? Greg, what's your
My
bracket? looking like?
my bracket is I have UConn and Houston in the final,
Yeah,
and I have UConn winning.
but what's your bracket looking like so far? Is it
You know what? I
destroyed?
haven't even looked at. I just know I have UConn. I have North Carolina. I haven't looked at it. You know what I mean? Because I don't study it like that.
Yeah.
I watch it through the year, but I know I still have a lot of my big dogs still in the race. So, you know, I'll take it from there. I might look at it tonight. We'll see.
Yeah. One thing I've always noticed over the years, and I don't know why this is, but G Unit, I've also always noticed, I don't know why, but girls seem. How did you pick your bracket, G Unit? Because for some reason, girls that don't necessarily know maybe a ton about sports always seem to do really good at March Madness.
Yeah.
Because I swear to God, there is no rhyme or reason. Like you might as well throw darts at a dartboard backwards, picking your bracket. You know what I'm saying? Because you have like me and my buddies, like Tony. Tony does a bracket every year, and he's got like 100 people in his bracket every year. People are studying, putting up money. Like it's a huge thing at the Tony's March Madness. And the people that win are like girls that don't even watch
That don't even watch it. Yeah. I mean, I pick the higher number ranked.
They're like, I like the colors, and this team has a really cute player.
Yeah, no, that's what I do. And then I
it's
also
just
searched other people's brackets. I was like, okay, so I wonder what this person would have chosen. And I did my research for a couple days.
Yeah. So we got March Madnesses.
Good luck.
Go ahead, Greg. If you
Don't say G Unit can't pick all the favorites though, because the favorites were 1 and 15 on the first weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And somehow I still got a lot of green. On my...
Nice. Nicely done. Okay. Only other topics that I can really think about. And I don't know if we should delve too deep into this. And it doesn't, I believe, Greg, you might not even, I don't even know if you can comment. Can you comment, Greg, on the Shohei stuff right now?
I just know someone. If I was missing $4.5 million, somebody would have known a long time ago. You know what I mean?
G Unit and Jason, do you guys know what's going on with Shohei Ohtani? Okay, so
who?
Shohei Ohtani, the new superstar. He's like the modern day Babe Ruth.
I'm just blown away that the feds are raiding P. Diddy's house right
Oh
now.
yeah, I saw that.
Well, it could become something like that. So Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers have an interpreter for him. Okay. Apparently, the interpreters stole $4.5 million out of Shohei Ohtani's bank account to pay gambling debts.
Right,
So
you got
right,
but the interpreter was with him before he got to the Dodgers.
right. It's his homie,
Yeah,
apparently. And see,
yeah.
that's where the story doesn't add up, because they're like, I don't know. I'm not saying there's any conspiracy here or not, but it was his homie before. He was his interpreter with the Dodgers. Like, unless you're my mom, maybe the only person that would have access, or a significant other that would have access to my money, to where they could literally go into my bank account and withdraw.
He's your manager, and I have almost
No.
sucked you dry.
And not even my manager gets access to my bank account. Okay. So this dude's interpreter had access to his bank account and pulled out $4.5 million to pay an alleged gambling debt.
Jeez.
And now I think the California Bureau of Investigations is getting involved, because sports gambling is illegal in the state of California. Ohtani is like, I have no idea. I never gambled on baseball. This dude went in, had access to my account, and he was paying a bookie, not like DraftKings. Like, this money was going to a bookie because it was apparently being done in the state of California, which is illegal. So that's like a huge story. Another story, this is just kind of a Spencer story. Greg could probably comment on this. And it kind of makes me sad. Greg, do you think the Golden State Warriors dynasty is officially done?
Yeah, everything good has to come to an end, right?
Yeah.
At some point, it's you don't it's sad. But look at the run they had. They've won.
It's amazing.
They won 4 titles, and I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, so I'm happy it's over.
Right. But they, like, literally, I haven't looked at the score of the Houston Rockets game tonight, but they were only, if Houston wins tonight, Golden State is only 1 game ahead of the Houston Rockets for a play-in spot. So that's just, and the thing that's crazy is everybody's healthy. Steph's healthy, Clay's healthy, Draymond Green is healthy, Chris Paul is healthy, and they might not even make the playoffs.
Well,
and you got to remember that we have play-in games now. So the top 10 teams in the West get at least 1 playoff game.
What is the standing right now? Number 1 is Denver. Number 2 is Oklahoma City.
I think OKC is like a half game ahead of the Nuggets. But I was kind of checking it out this year. The way it works is, I believe 1 through 6 are guaranteed playoffs. So 7 and 8 play a play-in game. Whoever wins that is the 7 seed. 8 and 9. Sorry, I think it's 1 through 7. 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're the 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds, you have to play a play-in game and win it to get into the playoffs. And Golden State is 10, and they are 1 game ahead of the Houston Rockets. And at the beginning of the season, I was like, man, they got Chris Paul. That's a good bet, because they were like, I don't know, when we were looking at the odds to win it all, it was like 40-1 or something crazy. And with a team with that much championship experience and that many rings, it's just, I wonder, I don't know, like, is it Father Time is undefeated? But I don't know.
Yeah, you look like anything. I mean, health, injuries. These young athletes can go all day. The motor's different. You got back-to-backs. You have, I mean, these guys had a great run for a long time. I mean, only the guy upstairs knows what the answer is, right? But I don't. But all good things come to an end. If that wasn't the case, you still have Magic playing, Michael Jordan playing, Kareem playing. Everything comes to the end, and you just got to take. That's why every day is important. You got to take every day like it's your last, because you never know when it's going to be over.
That's true. It kind of seems like, well, I guess you don't really remember the fall. I don't really remember how the Bulls, if they got split up, but to have all those names healthy and playing, but just no longer. And watch, I get why you guys, and because it's me, they're gonna make the 10 seed. They're gonna win the playoff game. they're gonna knock off OKC in the first. Like, watch them just go on a tear. But it's just right now, they look like that dynasty is done.
Well, and it could be. You know what? And like you said, it wasn't that they have the accolade of being called a dynasty. You know, not too many
Yeah.
people get to live that.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
live
true.
that dream. So
Yeah,
I think if it's over, it's over. Like I said, I'm a Kings fan. I
Yeah.
was a Warriors fan before we got the Kings in Sacramento. So right now, if it came to an end, you know, I love the players on the Warriors, but you know, the parity, you know, it's
Yeah.
throughout the league. You know, it's a testament that everybody's getting better. You know,
God.
and that's a good thing.
I figured they'd have Chris Paul as the quarter, but that's okay. I mean, you know, things come to an end. But and that's pretty much all I got. Major leagues kick off on Thursday, I believe, right? I mean, I know that the Dodgers played a couple games in Korea, but I think opening day is Thursday, right? So we'll be able to start talking baseball soon. I don't know. Anybody got anything else? If not, we're gonna call it a show.
Mr. Brock, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, my honor's mine, my friend.
Yes, nice to meet you,
Really an
Mr.
honor
Brock.
to meet
Thank
you.
you.
To meet somebody who has been at your level is it's an amazing. I respect the heck out of you for that.
No, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, and David, David, I love, obviously the fact that you're a world champion martial arts guy, but I also love the fact that you're a sports guy. So anytime you want to come on the show and talk sports, you're more
Thank you.
than welcome. Come on. I'd love to
Appreciate
have
it.
you.
Yes,
So,
David, I really liked your story, and I'm going to be looking for that book. So we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you.
No, thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
I didn't get what sport you were in though. I didn't miss that.
Oh, I am the whole, football fan, Kansas City Chiefs.
No,
she's from Kansas City, so she's
Yeah, I'm from Kansas City, so they're my team, and I got the privilege to be on Sports and Tacos with Spencer for the first two or
Yeah.
the couple years that we've won each Super Bowl.
Yeah,
My
that's right.
wife,
Patrick Mahomes.
my wife and my daughter just made plane tickets to Kansas City right now. They just
Nice.
they're gonna take that and go over to Iowa to see our son. His wife is a professor at Iowa State, and he plays semi-pro soccer. He's a great player.
Wow.
So they're going over to see us. So thanks for having me on.
Awesome,
I'm really
Dave.
happy to meet you. God bless everybody, and I hope everybody future looks good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, guys, everybody have a good evening. David, we'd love to have you on again soon. And I'll see everybody again next week. We got some amazing guests coming up. And adios, World Wide Web, until next Monday night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.